Now, a very good morning, afternoon, or evening, members of the internet. Welcome once again to another exciting episode right here on Mwelekeo Podcast. My good name is Tony Nyakoko, na kama kawaida, thank you very much kwa kila mtu ambaye anahakikisha anatufuatilia kwenye mitandao yote ya kijamii. Today, we tackling a very important topic that is very close to my heart. That's about marketing, branding. As young people, how can we venture into marketing? Sababu wanasema hakuna kazi, but in real sense, if you get into the world of marketing and branding, I'm quite sure kuna opportunities nyingi ambazo wewe kama youthman pale mtaani, you can always venture in. Unaweza anza 2-3, then you can at least find something mkwanja, pesa, to at least run your daily lives. Na kama kawaida, on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, Twitter, na pia Instagram, it's Mwelekeo Insights, na pale kwenye mtandao wa YouTube na TikTok, it's Mwelekeo TV. You can always use the hashtag Mwelekeo Insights ama Mwelekeo TV. Tunaweza pata conversations zenyu tukiendelea. We can also be reading some of your reactions from our past episodes. We've been seeing you. Na wengine wakuwa kiuliza, kule mlienda wapi? We are back. And today I'm having an amazing guest in studio. Tutakuwa tunazungumza masuala ya marketing and branding. Karibu sana Vivian.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Uko aje?
Niko poa sana.
Uko mzima?
Kabisa.
Unajua the last time tuliteract ulikuwa na Angel Mbuthia. Yeah. How has it been throughout the week, throughout the months?
We have actually done a couple of projects together.
Yes.
Like we attended a youth service at Kingero, where former interior CS, Mr.
Matiangi.
Professor Doctor. Is it Doctor or Professor?
It's Doctor.
Matiangi was in attendance. So yeah, we're still, talking and aligning 1, 2, 3 things.
Bado mnasukuma.
Yes.
Today we're tackling a very important issue. Na najua it's very close to your heart. So I was looking at your portfolio na nikapata kwamba Vivian is gwiji. Unajua gwiji nani? And gwiji is somebody that's a profession in a particular field of marketing and branding. Hata kabla tujaingia Vivian ni nani, wewe ulijipataje kwenye this very field ya marketing and branding?
Okay. So I'd say it began in business because as we all know, Kikuyu, which is my community, is very business oriented. So I grew up with the family, neighbors, relatives, all doing businesses, small businesses here and there. And that's when I took keen interest and I decided to take it as a course in higher learning. Yeah.
Now I see that you've got a background in business and commerce. Alafu sahi nikiangalia bado you deep into marketing and branding. How did these two get to intertwine?
Well, as a matter of fact, branding and marketing, I'm practicing it as a business. We are called Bold Brand Africa.
Bold Brand.
Yes. So I can say the courses and the principles that I've learned in business school is what helping me keep afloat in business. Yes.
Now tell us a bit about your background, where your journey began, and how what prompted you into getting into marketing and branding.
Yeah. So as I said, growing up in an environment where business is the main thing, where people have their small businesses, selling 1, 2, 3 things, selling services, products, that itself ignited my curiosity. And that's when I decided that at university level or higher education, I was going to go for a course that is going to give insights, deep insights and principles and, dynamic view of the scope, the landscape in business.
And so far umekuwa, tuseme ni miaka ngapi umekuwa kwenye marketing and branding, and some of the challenges ambazo wewe kama Vivian unaweza sema kwamba nikianza ilikuwa hivi, but moving forward napata things are changing in real sense?
Well, I just graduated in 2023.
2023, that's like 3 years ago.
Yeah. And I called myself to a meeting and I decided to carve my own path in business. That's when I looked at, I did a SWOT analysis of who I am as a person, my strengths, my weaknesses, the opportunities that are there and the threats.
And the threats, yeah.
Yeah, and I decided that I'm going to pursue branding and marketing because it resonates with me as a person. I know how to converse with people, communicate with people. I know how to engage with them. Then coupling that up with wanting to solve problems and having data-driven solutions, I found myself in marketing.
Tuongee about ukiwa chuo, umesema you were there like 2-3 years ago. Is there anything yenye uliona kwa market huko nje ukasema lazima tu niingie sasa kwa hii marketing and branding that labda ulikuwa unaona iko shule then you decided to apply it in the outside world? Is there anything that triggered that?
Yeah. So my interaction with comrades was quite deep, and I could see some comrades are really struggling to put their product out there, or some comrades actually wanted to venture into what is it called, entrepreneurship, but they were suffering or having poor visibility, poor engagement with their customers and audiences. And so I decided that once I'm out there, I'm going to couple the communication skills and all other principles that have been learned in a business school and solve a problem. That is poor visibility and poor engagement.
Now, one misconception about the sababu unapatanga, you just get kule nje watu wakisikia marketing and branding, people will always think that posters nzuri, banners, big designs, but according to you and the background that you have in marketing and branding, unaweza sema one big misconception ambao watu wakanayo kuhusu marketing and branding ni gani?
Yeah. So the biggest misconception we have out here is that people confuse branding and marketing. And we all know that, okay, not all of us know that, but these are two different concepts where you find that people think branding is, just posting on social media every other day, or creating content or taking photos. Branding, I will define it as I always do to my audience. Branding is your reputation as a business or as a person, your reputation, your vibe. What do people feel when, your business is mentioned or your brand is mentioned? While marketing, I'd say, is what gets you the attention. So for branding, you'll want to concentrate on the 3 C's, which I like to term them as the 3 C's because there's clarity, consistency, and connection.
Clarity, consistency, and connection.
Yeah, clarity, you have to maintain a specific story within all the platforms on social media, whether you're on TikTok, X, Facebook, or at YouTube or any other platform. People need to know that you're speaking the same story. Do you have the same feel? For example, if I mention Tony, if I mention Mercedes, we get what does it come to you? What comes to your mind when Mercedes is mentioned?
Luxury,
exactly, or class.
A class, yes.
So that is branding in itself. So marketing are the tools or how we are getting the attention. How will people get you? But branding is how people will remember you.
You've mentioned the 3 very important aspects. That's clarity, consistency and connection. Now talk about connection. So kuna mtu anadhania connection ni nani unajua, the people you know in the industry kwa game. What's connection inaingiana aje na masuala ya branding?
So connection in branding, I'd say, is emotional connection. People will buy, or rather will come back based on how you made them feel as a business. Were they appreciated? What did they feel ignored? Did you send them a thank you note after they paid? Because when money exchanges hands, people forget. Like, let's say I have ordered something from an artisan. The minute I pay you, you do not follow up and tell me, thank you, or how is the product serving you? So when a customer feels appreciated and seen, they will definitely come back again and again, and they will also bring their fellow, they'll bring you referrals.
Let's talk about businesses. Because branding is not about business peke yake. Kuna artists ambao pia they want to showcase their craft to the world. Na wanashindwa sasa mimi nitaanzia wapi? Mimi ni msanii, sina pesa, sina nini. If someone comes to you and anakuambia, Vivian mazee, I just want you to help me brand and market myself. Kama Vivian utamwanzia wapi? What are the nitty-gritties about utamwambia as an artist? Where anza hapa, then at the end of it all tutapenya?
Well, there's very many stages. Actually, not, but they're actually like 5 stages into making something, full blown. We have ideation stage, we have the planning, the execution. So first of all, we'll want to listen to the idea that this person has. Just listen to it, criticize it, give them insights where it's possible. Then also make sure that they have a plan towards the idea that they want to implement. Then again, you can tell them to go into execution. Then as those steps follow, they will learn very many things. There's going to be trial and error, and they're going to refine their craft as they move. Yes.
Now let's talk about businesses. So you've talked about connection. Na kuna businesses fulani unaenda unapata that you don't have that touch ama connection with them. Labda their services si venye ulikuwa unapenda, and they still insist, maze, this is the best we can offer. Now as a business, how can you stand out in terms of connection? What strategy can they put in place to ensure that their brands gets to stand out and people can connect with it?
I think I'd encourage people to leverage on research. Research will help you understand the market. What are the needs that a market a market requires. Again, you'll also want to do training and educate yourself so that you're able to meet the requirements or the needs that these people will make these people come back to your business again and again. Yeah.
Now, I just wanted to ask, when did you first realize that this was more than just a career? Because 2 years down the line, and I'm looking at the brands you've worked with, na because I was going through your social media na nikapata kuna watu ambao umefanya kazi na wao na ni watu wa kutajika, people that are very, utasemaje, wanatajika sana kwenye society. How did you get to distinguish all this na ukajipata kwenye this na ikakuwa ni career?
Well, being in business school really shaped me as a person because first of all, just to mention, I was a student leader at the University of Nairobi. And I was heading the finance docket.
Finance docket,
yes. The finance docket, where the money is, always. And being in that specific niche helped me network with a lot of people in diverse areas. So getting these networks and leveraging on them helped me understand the experiences. They've gone before us. They know better than us. They have better resources. So sitting on the shoulders, they say sitting on the shoulders of the, sorry, Mikey, Kuyu accent is coming out. Sitting on the shoulders of giants will make you see better. And I can say that, that actually shaped my thinking into how I could make this a passion.
You've mentioned something about networking. I've always heard this quote, people saying that your network is your network. Does it really apply in marketing and branding?
It's actually true because, as I said, the network that I created in campus and even now has helped me position myself as a young entrepreneur who's looking to offer value and solve problems. And I can say when things have become tough for me, because they have sometimes, leaning towards the networks that I've made has kept me motivated as a young person. So it's very important to also showcase your value to the people who believe in you, and also they can support your potential and they're going to support you. Yes.
So it's indeed true that your network is your network.
Yes,
because you've talked about the connections you've gotten ukiwa shule, zimekuja zikakusaidia huku nje. So to every young people pale nje, unajua kuna watu, there are people, kuna watu wanakuambia they'll say that me I'm an introvert, unajua? Anasema mimi kuongea na watu sijui. But how can you help an introvert gain that courage, gain that experience of standing out in terms of speaking out about their brand to people that matter to their brand?
Okay. So I would encourage especially young people to put themselves out there. You see, the minute you hide a light, it's not helping anybody. When you have an idea, be it from research ideas, you need to be able to be courageous enough to put them out there. Attend innovation hubs, go for networking events. And here you're going to meet people who are going to actually, as I said earlier, who are going to criticize your idea, make it better for you. You even stand a chance of bumping into people who can support your idea by funding. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So put your idea out there, sell it, and do not be scared of. I've had many notions of people saying, do not share your idea because it's going to be stolen. So young people, if you do not have the networks, you do not have the resources, you do not have the experiences, then if you hide your idea, for sure it's not going to help you in any other way. So put yourself out there.
You've talked about, it's a conversation that naisikianga sana kule nje. Mtu anasema, unajua mimi idea yangu ni kali, lakini naogopa if I share it with somebody, atakuja aibe, ama utaiona mahali tu. Na unapata, because I was supposed to have a conversation with a lawyer about the issues of trademarking and patenting. Why is it important for you to share out your idea vis-a-vis kukaa chini na kusema kwamba your idea will be stolen? Why is it important for you to at least share it out because it gives you the experience? Why is it important?
Because trial and error, you see, when you're giving out an idea or you have a business plan or business idea again, and you want to share it with people, that means you're being vulnerable. You're being vulnerable to criticism, which is very important for growth. Even big CEOs in the globe, they have done so many things. They have done so many trials and errors. But right now, through the trial and error, they have been able to establish themselves, see where the opportunities are, see where the improvements can be made. You know, I talk with my brother a lot. James Kong, I know he's watching this. And he tells me that fail, he defines fail as first attempt in learning. So you can imagine if you fail 3, 4, 5 times, that means you've learned 4 or 5 times. So do not be scared to fail. Just start. And as you move, as you catch the momentum, it's going to place you at a better place as an entrepreneur.
I just want us to shift gears kidogo tuende into the issue of entrepreneurship and youth leadership and how it shaped your career into marketing and branding. But before that, I just want you to look into that camera. Alafu ongea na any youth man ambaye anashangaa mimi nitaanzia wapi, because there's always that fear. Anasema labda funding, anasema mimi sina pesa ya kwanza, na wanasemanga the first idea is in the mind. So unaweza mwambia nini?
I'll just tell you to start. You need to hold life by, it's called catch the bulls by the horns. By the horns. Yeah, just start moving. You need to have you have to be delusional. You have to be very optimistic and trust your idea. Just move. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because at the end of the day, mistakes are what shape you and they are what grow you. And also do not be scared to network and put your idea out there, because people who are interested in your craft or your audience will actually get you. And again, remember to remain authentic in everything that you do.
Authenticity.
Yes.
Young people, meskia, authenticity is the name of the game. Always try to be authentic in everything you do. Sababu unajua authenticity is being real. Labda siku moja mtu ataona product yako na atapendezwa nao. Let's talk about entrepreneurship, youth and leadership. How did this shape your career into marketing? Sababu ulikuwa student leader kule shule.
Yeah.
Na kuna vitu viwili vitatu ambavyo ulijifunza kabla hujatoka shuleni na ukasema kwamba these are the things that I'll apply in my business, in my daily hustles. How was it transitioning from school into the real life sasa?
Yeah. So being in student leadership.
Kwanza ilikuwa shule gani?
At the University of Nairobi.
The university.
Yeah, the only one it's not named after a dead person in this country, unlike the rest. So being in student leadership required you to be very strategic in thinking, because you are dealing with comrades. You're dealing with comrades from different backgrounds. So as a leader, as a voice for students, and as a bridge for students to administration, you have to be very strategic. And I can say I have employed that kind of strategic thinking in key decision making in business. Again, I could say there was critical thinking. As a student leader, I was faced with, of course, a myriad of problems. You'll meet a student who's not eaten for days. Some are genuine, some are not genuine. So being a critical thinker, you want to know how are you going to solve their problem, even if you yourself do not have that amount of money to help them. How can you make sure that this person is helped? Again, in student leadership, there was problems. I already talked about problems and solving skills, the networking and communication. In business, you cannot keep quiet. You have to talk your stuff. You have to talk for your brand. Talking. Yes, your brand. Every brand tells a story, and so how you package that kind of storytelling, which I gained from student leadership, has equally helped me in business, in digital branding and marketing. Yeah.
Ujua, a majority of students wakiwa shule, they always envision, nikitoka shule, the first thing I want to get employed. I just want to work from 8 to 5. But the reality begins to hit the moment you're out of school. You begin to send your papers, your CV, and a majority of them wanakuwa heartbroken because there's no reply, hakuna kazi. But there's always that route, the self-employment route. So my question, how did you decide to take this self-employment route instead of finding a 9-to-5 job? Why was it important for you to find this kind of?
So first of all, I did it. I went into self-employment for personal fulfillment. I felt like if I'm in an area where I'm able to be flexible with my hours, I'm able to, do things in a creative way, offer solutions in a creative way. I think I chose that over the normal 9 to 5 because 9 to 5 lacks a lot of flexibility. Inakufungia tu mahali, and you have to listen to someone, even if you have better ideas or innovative ideas, creative ideas. You have to follow a certain systematic way of doing things, which does not resonate with me as a person. So that's why I ended up in self-employment. Yes.
Now let's talk about self-employment is an alternative for a majority of young people, but you find there are challenges that zinatokea. Unataka kutafuta kazi, unataka kuanzisha biashara yako from 9 to 5, au unataka kuanzisha biashara yako, and in real sense wanasema lazima uwe na pesa pia. But the biggest challenge when starting out, especially as a young person in Kenya, you've just been in the game like 3 or 4 years. So unasema in your quest to become a self-employer,
yes,
some of the biggest challenge utasema ni gani? One of those biggest challenge ambayo, and how did you tackle it?
Right now, from where I sit, I'd say the biggest challenge is competition. In my field, especially PR, branding and marketing. I can say there are some agencies that are in the market which have been there even before I was born.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, they have already created networks. They have large portfolios, and so that makes us who are trying to enter the system or the market, it makes it very hard for us to win contracts. So that is one of the biggest challenge as at now.
Sababu unapata kuna kampuni zimekuwa pale like 30 years and these are companies that are handling government projects, wengine wana handle prominent personality. Na unakuja hapo na your 2-3 years experience is just saying but
I don't trust you.
How does it feel? Same as a marketer and as a branding manager, how does this make you feel? Do you think there's policies that can be put in place to ensure that there's a level ground?
Yeah, I think the government needs to look at these policies, make a level ground for new people who are trying to infiltrate the market, so that even things like licensing, taxations. I've talked to many young people, and what comes out is that people are being taxed even before they start the business itself. So if the government could find a way to level the ground, as you put it, Tony, I think we'd move better as a country. Again, there's a problem I've also experienced that I forgot to mention. Changes in consumer behavior. One time they want to be on TikTok. Second time they want to be on Instagram. So you have to be also dynamic and be ready to adapt to changes very fast, especially in this digital field. Yeah.
Now you've mentioned 2 social media platforms. That's TikTok and Instagram. Now I was reading somewhere, mtu anasema if you want to make more sales, enda pale Instagram. But if you want to have your brand known, enda pale TikTok. Now as a marketer and a digital marketer, between social media platforms, one of the if given an opportunity, unaweza advise mtu if you want to make money, kutengeneza pesa, because at the end of it all it's about money people wanataka. Which are some of these social media ambao unaweza ambia mtu kimbia pale ndo kuna pesa?
So Tony, I can say money is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Money is everywhere and it's an energy. But as a person who's starting out or as a brand that's starting out, I believe that I'd take TikTok as the platform that has it has a mind-blowing what is it called? Algorithm. Algorithm. They are FYP. I'm sure you've seen, if you search something on, let's say Google, let's say a restaurant near me, if you log into TikTok, it's going to bring you restaurants for the next 5 to 10 minutes. That means it's very advanced. It's very it's highly optimized. So people can actually leverage on it by using the right hashtags, remaining authentic, and their audience are going to find them. Yeah.
Now, in your view, what's missing in how most young people approach entrepreneurship? Sababu kuna watu unaingia kwenye social media, unapata today they've posted about their product, then the next 2 weeks wamepotea. Then unakuja tena after 1 month they begin again to post their product. Na unapata there's a very huge gap between day 1 and day 15. So what young people what should they get to know about marketing and branding in terms of entrepreneurship? As an entrepreneur, how do you get your brand marketed in the best way possible?
So I'll go back to the 3 C's. Clarity, consistency, and connection. the minute you're able to achieve the three, I think everything else will open doors. Because once you're clear and your language, your story is the same beyond across the board, and you're also having consistency. As you said, you do not want to post today and you take 3 more months, you lose clients, you lose people who trust in you, lose confidence in your customers. So if they are able to maintain those 3 C's, I think it's going to work for them.
Now, before putting out your brand, kabla hata hujaanza kusema mazee mimi najihusisha na masuala ya kuuza viatu ama PR firm, there's always the aspect of personal branding. Before you begin to brand your business, there's that very aspect of personal branding. Is it important for an entrepreneur to have first to brand their personal space before beginning to brand their products?
I think it's very important, especially in the digital world, because people trust what they can see. You know, if I'm only posting animations and graphic designs, but there's no face to it, people will find it hard to trust. But if you're actually there, you're authentic, you're telling your story, you're saying the origin of my brand is this, and they're actually relating to real life, stories and situations, then that puts you at a better position as an entrepreneur. So your personal branding is very, very important. Yes.
Now there's a 21-year-old pale nje anaangalia na anasema kwamba I want to venture into marketing, into branding, kuna pesa pale, but they feel stuck. Now I feel like, man, I want to start, but kuna ile uoga. What advice to that 21-year-old? Sababu yeye anataka kuingia kwenye hii biashara lakini anashangaa mimi nitaanzia wapi? Kuna ile uoga ambayo inamshikilia. Give them an advice.
What you can do, you can establish or identify a role model in your area. Say in digital marketing, like for myself, I really look up to Lucia Musau. She's in PR and branding and marketing, and she works with luxury brands. So I've learned not one thing, very many things from her in terms of how she conducts her business, how she carries herself out, even the way she specializes in her business. So make sure that you have a role model that you can look up to and learn 1, 2, 3 things from. Yeah.
We've talked about young people staying motivated. We've talked about personal branding, but there's always the aspect of money, funds. Sababu at the end of it all atakwambia ili nitengeneze hizi photocopy hizi vitu zangu, I need funding and I need money. Now, how does a young person get to juggle between funding and also putting their craft outside?
So I'd encourage any young person who is maybe has a talent or an idea but lacks the proper funding to conduct again their research, because we have very many microfinance institutions that offer, they offer funding or grants, but to organize groups. So you have to attach yourself to an organized group for you to have accessibility to such funds. Again, even this is a call to the government. They can have the funding. They can have those models where they are, like I've seen, there's an initiative called Nyota.
The Nyota grant.
Yeah, the Nyota grant. It might be there, but how accessible is it to the youth? Yeah, they may be posting it on websites and putting it on newspapers and TV. But the truth is, as a matter of fact, youth are not going to, most of the youth in the country are not reading newspapers and they're not watching television. Yeah, they are not there. They are mostly on social media. I'm talking about TikTok, I'm talking about Instagram, I'm talking about X. So if these opportunities or these initiatives can be made visible to the youth on these platforms or where the youth are, I think they'd make more sense.
Vivian, you were mentioning to me behind the scenes some of the brands you've worked with.
Yeah. Can
you just bring them to the light? Do watu waze kujua Vivian ni nani?
Yeah. So I'll begin with Craftery, which is still under construction. It's an innovative startup that is there to bridge the gap between the local artisans and their customers. So you find that in Kenya, we have a lot of production, local production, especially in the cottage industries. And we also have consumers for the same. But you find that people in the cottage industries may lack enough training. They may lack enough capacity or adequate capacity to sell or market their stuff. So Craftery is coming in to be a bridge between the two. The problem here is that we are having international competition, like with countries like China. Yet we as a country can produce authentic goods that are are of high quality. If you compare the goods that are made in the cottage industries as compared to what is coming in from Kenya, you'll find that these goods are a bit substandard. And they're infiltrating our market. Yet we are the local producers. So I believe that Craftery is one of the best projects that I'm working on currently. And soon we are going to unleash it to the public. So stay tuned for Craftery. Craftery. Craftery for craft.
Oh, craft.
Yes.
Oh, so craft from factory, craftery. Oh.
Yeah.
Now you've mentioned about cottage industry. Unapata even politicians wenyewe ikifika time ya campaign, they go import t-shirts from China. And yet in Kenya naonanga kuna companies, factories ambazo wana produce very quality. Why do you think? Is there lack of policies ama because tunapenda vitu cheap?
I think it's lack of exposure because we have people who are producing these things, quality things, but they're not exposed or they do not know how to put themselves out there. But as I said, look out for Craftery. We are going to sell those politicians, those t-shirts in bulk especially. Yeah.
Technology mingi ambazo zimekuja na the government keeps insisting young people you need to be innovative. How does this innovation come with? What is innovation first? Kama mtu ambaye a layman's language. What is this innovation ambao kila siku unasikia youths become innovative, look for spaces in the society where you can create your innovations. What is this innovation kwanza?
So according to me, I feel like or I think that innovation is an improvement of an original idea. Or let's say there's an industry, or actually there are so many industries in the scope, in the business scope, and I'd say that problems will always exist. They will always exist. But how you come out as an improver? How are you improving them? How are you doing them at lesser cost, but maximizing the ROIs and how you're tooling your clients. I mean, that is part of innovation. So yeah, that's my understanding of innovation.
So that's the innovation in a nutshell. Unajua tunaambiwa young people, you need to invent, you need to come up with new ideas, but the pool is crowded. It's true. So about wakati uliingia ulipata the pool is crowded. Na in real sense unaambiwa you need to be innovative, and yet this is a crowded pool. How does a young man get to stand out in this crowded pool? Wewe unafanyaje ili uweze kuonekana? Unajua out of these thousands of brands outside here, wewe utafanyaje kama mtu kijana uweze kuonekana na brand yako kuchukuliwa?
So I'd say I don't think there's any industry that is overcrowded because there's always space for everyone. The cake is, big enough for everyone. But looking at it the way you're asking, I'd take my pain points as a person first. Even before I go out to the market, I'd look at myself and say, what are the problems I'm facing every day and I'm not able to solve? Then from there, you can now be able to see where you position yourself as a problem solver with quality products or services. Then you can also rely on conducting market research. You see, when you conduct market research, when you meet these people on the ground and you meet the consumers, producers, you're able to understand more how to meet their needs and wants. Yeah.
Now, AI, ChatGPT, hizi ni technology ambazo zimekuja to aid in different spaces in the society.
Right.
Lakini kuna watu wanasema, AI, ChatGPT wamekuja kuchukua the work and the role of young people in the society. According to you as Vivian, do you think young people are losing it when it comes to AI? Is it creating more opportunities or is it taking the opportunities out of young men?
To be honest, I'm seeing it as an opportunity for young people because if we are looking at the older generation, and I'm talking about, I saw someone on X saying that people who are 25 and above are already old. But I mean, the older generation is not very flexible in, using this technological trends that are there, like AI or ChatGPT. They are a bit reluctant in using them or even learning about how to use them. So I see this as an opportunity for young people to, immerse themselves in the same research about it. How can you make your business or any opportunity that you're pursuing better using these tools that are coming out? Yeah.
Now, as Vivian, umezitumia hizi tools, have you used them?
Yeah, I actually do. In digital marketing, you need a lot of this, a lot of these trends. I mean, digital tools. I use Chat GPT. I have used Canva Studio to create quality content that is going to speak to the audience, the way it's supposed to be, spoken to. I mean, how are you conversing about, say, the brand story? I've used Chat GPT and Canva.
Now, what's the biggest challenge unaweza sema that mimi nilikuwa naanza but you've overcome it, and how did you overcome it? Unasema this was the biggest challenge, especially with the new technology, and I maneuvered my way through it through this and this manner.
So I'd say, first of all, I was having issues with the Meta, using Meta ads, especially scheduling ads for Meta. But when I added capacity to myself through research again and reading into it, I think now we are good. Yeah.
We've talked about Meta, hiyo mambo ya Facebook nini. Na kuna mtu anashindwa, how do I place an ad kwenye Facebook? How do I place an ad? Because it's one of those technologies that zimekuja hapa and people need to have their brands and brands marketed outside the world. How does one go about it? Sababu it's all about educating the public and the masses. How does one go about it? Maybe nataka place ad Facebook wapi but ajui ataanzia wapi. Now as a marketer and brand, hizo ni siri zako. How does one begin?
I'll give it as a general. So you need to consider the 7 P's in marketing, which is product, process, place, which is this other one, Tony. There's so many. There's seven of them, but you can actually research into it. So once you consider those, you're able to know who your audience is, what their want is, the age demographics, and when you know all that information, you're able to place an ad so that they are targeted to the right audience. Yeah.
Now, digital marketing is all about using, tuseme, pesa kidogo, using as little fund as you can to ensure that your brand is well marketed, is well seen outside there.
Yeah.
Now, as a startup, as an organization, how can you ensure that your brand is well marketed without breaking the bank? So kuna mtu anasema, for me to hire a marketing and a brand ambassador inakuwa ni ngumu. So how does an organization, how does a company get to stay noticed without breaking the bank?
I'd advise such startups to highly leverage on partnerships and collaborations. By uniting, we say two make a better team more than one. And once you collaborate and partner with people who've been in the industry, of course, it's going to put your brand out there. It's going to give you better insights into better insights into how you're going to deal with your business. So I really leverage on collaboration and partnership.
Let's talk about, you've talked about partnership. Na pia kuna mtu atasema partnership ni mzuri, lakini kuna the contract part of it. Now, as a marketer, do you advise people to go through their contract with a lawyer? What should one do to ensure that as you partner with this brand, hawatanitumia vibaya? Sababu kuna watu wanasema, mimi nilifanya ile kampuni wakanitumia vibaya. How does it go for a partnership, for you to stand out in terms of partnership and working with other associated brands?
It's very important to go through those contracts before you sign on the dotted line. Make sure you read word for word what every clause entails. And if you have lawyer friends like myself, I keep calling them all the time. What does this mean? Like yesterday, there was a contract that I was handling, and there's a clause that I could not understand. So I did not assume or go to Chat GPT and ask it, what does this mean? Okay, I did, but it was not elaborate enough. So I called my lawyer friends. As I said, leverage on your networks. You see, it's coming back to this specific area.
Your network is your network.
Your network is your network. So I was able to understand more of what the contract expects of me. And that means I'm able to safeguard myself as an influencer or as a brand. Yeah.
Now we're talking about technology. Now you're so passionate about technology, new trends. What technology are you currently in? Are you exploring? And what does the future look for you?
The future is very green because I know there's going to be advanced AI that's going to help, especially us in digital marketing, to put out quality content, to schedule posts, when you're a consultant, especially in the digital marketing field, you find that you may have many clients that require you to have a lot of posts going on within the week, but your time may be a bit constricted. So with this new technology, ChatGPT, AI and automation will help you navigate this route. Yeah.
Now, how do you get as a marketer and a branding? Tuna brand anaitwaje? Ama ni marketing and branding?
A marketer and a brand strategist and manager.
Now, how do you stay put in this ever-evolving world of technology? Wewe unasema, what keeps you going? How do you stay put? Sababu kuna watu wanasema with this new technology, naona kazi zitaisha. But for you as Vivian, how do you stay put?
I'm a very curious person by nature. I have a curious spirit. So I ensure to keep the same momentum even when it comes to marketing and branding. I'm currently pursuing a master's in business administration and management. And I believe that my pursuing this will also help me gain the right skills to be able to tackle with new technologies because it's actually growing very fast. Yeah.
What prompted you kurudi shule? And yet unaweza sema kuna mtu atashangaa, Vivian tayari akana kampuni yake, it's running, she's working with big brands. What prompted her to rudi shule akafanya masters and yet she's got something going on in her life?
Again, I think I'll attribute this to my curiosity. If you stay hungry for knowledge and if you want to stay relevant in the industry, you have to keep learning. People learn every day. People who are as old as 80, as 90, keep advancing their skills. So why not do that? Yeah, to stay relevant in the industry.
You've said the future looks green. And I'm quite sure you've already envisioned the 5-10 years from now. How does it look like for marketers and digital strategists? Inakaaje? What do you envision the future looking like in the next 5 to 10 years?
I see a market that's going to have advanced AI. But then the downside of this is that people are going to appreciate authenticity more. You know, things that are being done by human stories, storytelling and things that are actually very deeply personalized. Yeah. So people may also want to incorporate authenticity as we move because, you know, automation and using of artificial intelligence may make people lose touch, the human touch. Yeah.
Now, as a brand that is looking forward into working with you as Vivian, labda anashangaa nitaanziaje, rates za Vivian labda ziko juu, labda naogopa. How does one get to work with Vivian as a brand and as a company?
Yeah. So you can I'm actually very active on social media as a brand, as a person, first of all. You'll find me on these platforms as Vivian Kabiru or Wamboi_Kabiru. Then secondly, we have a website for Bold Brand Africa, which is the company that I am building and working on, boldbrandafrica.com. Once you click on that website, there's going to be a sheet down there. You're going to fill your contact and your your kind of project that you want us to help you with. There's also a range of prices. And then once we get the email on our side, we can always have a conversation and we can always negotiate. Hatuwezi kosana.
Now, you've mentioned something very important, especially for companies, for brands, either it's an artist, whether it's a brand ambayo inataka kuonekana, and there's the aspect of creating a website and interactions through the website. Why is it important for a company, especially for a startup, to have a website? Sababu kuna wengine wanakuambia mimi simtanipata pale Facebook, but in real sense the individuals before afanye kazi na wewe lazima uingie wakuulize website yako inafanya nini, iko aje, is it running? Why is it important for an institution to have a website?
An institution, what you want to really build is trust to your customers or people who want to work with you. And I feel like websites are the it thing right now because there they're able to see your portfolio, they're able to see who you've worked with. And it draws me back to your question. I remember you asked me the brands that I've worked with, and I only mentioned one. I'd want to mention the rest. I've worked with LinkUp, which is a connection company that helps people to, just amass the social capital within an event. I've worked with an AI and innovation company called DigiSolutions.
DigiSolutions.
Yes, that is run by one Mr. Shege. He's actually 22 years old. So you can see people are being very innovative and are young and are ready to put out their skills. Then I've also worked with L'Oreal East Africa, where I've offered them influencer marketing. So I believe having a portfolio where you're showing people in your website, the people you've worked with, people who have been able to trust you, it builds a lasting trust to your customers. Yeah.
Now, you talked about the importance of website. Na kuna social media pages nyingi ambazo zina social media pages in the market today. We've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got X. According to you, Vivian, you've told us that pesa iko kila mahali. But out of all these platforms, so as a marketer, unaweza mtu, if you want to get more clients, ingia pale. If you want brand visibility, ingia pale. If you want connection with people, ingia pale. So some of those brands utasema ni gani?
I'd say if you want visibility, really, TikTok is it.
Is it?
TikTok, the FYP page is something out of this world. And if you want to build connection, I'd say you can use Facebook. I see people on Facebook are they look like it's like they're a family. I don't know. There's a sense of how do I put it, Tony?
Wewe unaona kwa sema Facebook ndio the last kama gazeti inatoka Kenya inafika Turkana. So the action is always on X, but ikifika Facebook but it's always
connection. Yeah. So, and then again, building your business, you see meta ads and whatnot. You can use Instagram. Yeah.
Just about to wind up on the show today, and it's quite clear that you've gotten your eye on matters technology, innovation, and also leadership. But there's one aspect I just want to get your thoughts about it when it comes to matters government policies together with the grants. We just mentioned about the Nyota grant, and yet you are wondering why is it that the government is trying to fund innovation, and yet the feeling on the ground is quite different from what people are thinking. So what we're looking for 8,000 individuals to grant them 50,000 bob for startups and to run into businesses. But do you think this is tenable, especially for a community with more than 30 million young people and jobless?
Yeah. So I think what the government can do is put up structures, and the systems need to be very favorable to be able to absorb these youths or be able to help them, train them or fund them. Because at the end of the day, we can have initiatives like Nyota where people are being funded. But if the ecosystem is not friendly enough, then I don't think it's going to be helping in any way. We can fund you, Tony, but if you do not have the ability to be able to repay the loan or, pool customers that are able to afford, their revenue is decreasing due to inflation, then that means my business is not going to break even, So the government needs to, first of all, create a conducive ecosystem for everybody. Let us have good education facilities. Let us have training for lecturers or, tutors in tertiary institutions. And then everything else can flow, yeah?
Now let's talk about financial literacy when it comes to marketing and branding. Sababu kuna watu wanasema we have the money, but how to use it, how to spend it is where they draw the line. Why is it important for a brand, for an organization to have the financial literacy part of it?
It's very important because when it comes to investment, and as I'm going to attribute this to my business background in the School of Business, there's something we call investment analysis. If I invest, will I have my return on investment? Or after how long am I supposed to break even? So people need to educate themselves. People need to have that financial literacy so that it sees the success of their business through. Yeah.
So let's go to our last segment. This is always a quick fire. Hapa ndo napenda sana sababu you get to tell us to be truthful as possible. Uko tayari?
Niko tayari.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the quick fire round where we shall be putting Vivian onto the hot seat. Tutakuwa namuuliza maswali mawili matatu kuhusiana na masuala ya marketing and branding sababu hiyo ndio field ya kwake. You ready, Vivian?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Uko tayari?
I'm facing this camera.
Yeah, face this camera.
Okay.
Number one, as a marketer and brand manager, which is your favorite social media platform right now and why?
TikTok, because its algorithm, especially the explore page, is highly optimized. Yeah.
One marketing trend you think is overrated and is given and if given an opportunity, what will you change?
I'd say use of traditional methods such as newspapers. Nobody has time for reading newspapers in this generation. People need to focus more on the digital spaces.
Yes. One Kenyan brand you really admire and what makes them stand out in terms of marketing and branding?
That is definitely Brookside, because they have been able to tick the C's that I keep talking about. Consistency over the years, being founded in 1993 and still remaining to be relevant up to now. I think it stands out for me.
What makes it stand out according to you?
The consistency in the market, and having having leadership in market. When I mentioned Brookside, you associate it with milk, UHT milk, in East and Central Africa.
They've rebranded. For a period of while, they've always rebranded, going through the renovations. Why is it important for a company to rebrand? Sababu kuna kampuni utaona iko pale tuna the same brand for the last 10-15 years. As a marketer and a branding strategist, why is it important for a company to rebrand after a given period of time?
It's important to rebrand so that you give a new feel and also talk to a newer audience.
Because the audiences keep shifting.
They keep shifting.
The best piece of advice you've ever received in your journey and how it shaped your career?
To stay authentic and not mind the small stuff.
One thing you tell your younger self and advise any young person seeking to get to the marketing and branding world?
Tell my younger self to give herself grace. That even if you fail, it's a learning opportunity, and to keep going. And if you want to start something, just start with or without with adequate or inadequate resources. Just start. It's going to catch up with you as you move.
Now, Vivian, with 3 years in the market, 3 years in the game, what is that one vital lesson you've learned from your interaction with your clients?
I've learned to be committed, to be disciplined, that even when you do not feel like you want to do something, you have to do it, and to remain disciplined, that I should do things or activities or tasks that are there, even when I do not feel like doing them.
Now, we're about to wind up. Na nataka you look into that camera. Market yourself, market your brand, tell them where they can find you and why is it important for them to seek your services as a marketing and branding company.
So to brands that are bold enough, that are daring to stand out, those are the brands that I like to work with. And I see myself as a future partner to brands that are daring with compelling stories, brands that are looking for growth, brands that are looking to maximize their visibility. Please contact us on boldbrand.com or on our social media pages at boldbrand, or you can actually send me a personal DM on Wambui_Kabiru on Instagram. On X, I'm Vivian Wambui Kabiru. On Facebook, I'm Vivian Kabiru. On TikTok, I'm Vivian Wambui Kabiru.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been having a conversation with Vivian Kabiru on matters branding, innovation together with marketing. It's a conversation that I'm quite sure wewe kama kijana, and if you one day hoping to keep your brand out there, I'm quite sure that you've learned a thing or two from the discussions we've had with Vivian Wambui. Thank you so much, Vivian.
Thank you.
I'm hoping we'll have you another time.
Na
pia utatuletea your brother, because pia ako kwenye hii space ya umesema ni?
He's in innovation and technology. Mwalimu Kongo, I know you're watching this. We are waiting for you to come and talk to us about Craftery and take us through the many problems that you are looking to solve as an innovative startup.
Mwalimu Kongo will definitely get in touch with you. But in the meantime, let's keep the conversation happening on all our social media. You can always comment, react with us. Sisi tuna reply DM. Tutumia hata kama ni saa 6 usiku, we always ready to reply to your messages. On social media platforms, on Facebook, Twitter, it's X. On Facebook, on X and Instagram, it's Mwelekeo Insights. Na pale kwenye TikTok na YouTube, it's Mwelekeo TV. Kindly subscribe, dunga like, dunga follow, and we'll be more than happy to interact with you. My good name is Tony Nyakoko. Till next time, be blessed.